the school has a very emotional place in my heart. I was 15 years old, summer of the 10th grade. I was called out of class at East High School here in the city to interview for this federally funded educational scholarship program called the Upward Bound program. The essence of the program was to go into inner city or rural schools and find students who were academically gifted but maybe did not see a route to college because lack of encouragement, maybe from the home environment, or lack of resources. And so I was accepted into the Upward Bound program, and you are placed around the state of Ohio on a college campus. And so in the summer of 1969, I stepped foot onto this college campus as an Upward Bound student. I lived here three summers, and they were three of the most glorious summers of my life. It was 7 weeks each summer, and you knew how lucky you were to be on this campus. There were no fights. It was calm. There were trees. There was good food. There was constant encouragement. You were in this bubble. You were in a bubble. You were in urban America, but for many of us, we would ride down Sunbury Road if there was a car in your family, and you would look over there and you would see this college campus, and you would say, oh, who are those people? What are they doing over there? I mean, wow, it must cost a fortune to be a student there. How do you get enrolled there? I mean, all of these things you would think about. And then one day you find yourself here and you realize they're no different than you. You have the same abilities that they have. They want to learn, those students, and you want to learn. I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about learning. I had never written an essay in one of those blue books. I had never had a conversation with somebody who taught a course on a college level. And so to be in a room with a professor when you're 15, and they were very demanding, and they would tell us every day, you're going to college. There will be no slacking. And we would walk back and forth across this campus, and you could feel your dream actually coming alive inside of you. And that was a very thrilling summer for me, the first of 3 summers on this campus. That first year it clicked because nobody in my family had ever gone to college. I was the first. It wasn't something that people in my family dreamed of. My brother was off in the Vietnam War. I was the youngest of 5. And when I would come home at the end of the summer, at the end of that very first summer, it seemed that my course was set. I didn't want to let the people down on this campus because obviously if you got accepted into the program, you were expected to make it, and the goal, there was one goal, to go to college, and that was instilled in you all the time. In the first dormitory that I lived in my life happened to have been Fitzpatrick Hall. That was the very first time that I was away from home in life for an extended period of time, and it was like intellectual boot camp. I was surrounded by books, by other people, and we were all dreamers. This was one of those programs that grew out of the American Civil Rights Movement. And so we all had a sense that something was expected of us. My world cracked open on this campus as a young student. This was the road that nobody in my family had ever traveled. And so when I knew the movie was coming out, based on the story that I wrote about this White House butler, and when I knew that there was going to be a book launch someplace in America, New York, it's very typically where you go for a big book launch. But I thought of this campus right here because of two great people in my life. David Dulong, who was a theater professor here in the 70s. I took his class, his drama workshop, and thought I might become an actor, and that was because of David, who was right here on this campus, and Sister Thomas Albert, who was a great mentor to me, and she was on staff here for many years, and she was the one who went to Washington, D.C. to testify or to lobby that this campus could be a part of the Upward Bound program. She traveled to Washington, D.C. She really wanted these impoverished students to have an opportunity, and that has always been very, very, very touching to me, and something that you don't forget.